Good morning, traders. It is 4:10 a.m. Yep, 4:10, November 18th, Wednesday, and I've already taken my first trade of the day, and it was with DNK. So you can see I have the pre-market top gainers up. I prefer, after I see this list here, just to click on all, because this doesn't show you anything about volume. Then I click on the volume here to put it in order from highest volume to lowest. And when I did that, DNK was at the top at the time. It had like 300,000 shares of volume or something, like it was the top volume, and it's in my price range. So I set it up on my trade screen, and I took a trade. I have it on video. Let me show you real quick here. So I started the video right after I entered the trade. Now the strategy I'm using here is that after I see a lot of volume on the first candle, meaning close, if not 10,000 shares. Let's just check over here to see how many shares. Yeah, so there was 28,000 shares of volume on this 1 minute candle at 4:02. So that's a sign either this thing's getting pump and dumped, or there's some real, usually the pump and dumps don't have that much volume. So usually that's a sign of a real mover. So that was what made me want to get in. And then the strategy I have for entering the front side of a trade like this, which is a bit aggressive and risky, is that if there's like two green candles, I can get in as late as the break of the second green candle. So here I'm kind of getting in on the break of the first green candle. And I'm only doing that because all of that volume came in, so it's a really good sign that the price is going to continue upward. But it's a bit risky because my stop loss is almost, it's 37 cents essentially. So that's huge. Doesn't mean I have to take it down there. I could take it early, or usually, actually I should say, I marked it out there, but when I enter these type of trades, I usually stop out on the candle that I entered on. This one it would have been a little tricky because it's so small, but and I don't know if Webull was acting weird on this computer this morning. You saw how long it took for that to move. So there it went up to 308, and I tried to get out. That would have been a 9-cent scalp, and got filled at 306, unfortunately. But still, that was a 7-cent scalp. But then this is what kind of screwed the trade up for me, is that it came back down. I mean, it's not really a screw up. That's part of my plan to be ready for that, is that if it comes down to my entry that I sell out. The unfortunate thing was it blew right past my entry. You can see actually I triggered the sell order kind of like when it was at 3, but then it immediately bounced down to 290. It didn't have that big spread when I put in the buy order, so that kind of came out of nowhere. And then here I got filled at 295. So my original entry, I was at 299, so that was 4 cents that I lost on 2 shares, and I gained 7 cents on 2 shares, so still a winning trade. I only walked away with 2 cents from it because there's the sell fees, 4 cents in sell fees because I hit the sell button twice. And it was only a 12. Actually, let me see. It was a $12 trade. I didn't have $15 or 10% of my account settled because I took a few extra trades yesterday, and I've also decided that I'm gonna split up my account in a way that allows me to take 2 trades per session. And this is exactly why. It's not just because of this the way this stock played out. I've been thinking about this lately because I'm seeing a pattern emerge where I would be quite a bit more profitable with 2 trades per session on a very specific setup. So I kept so you can see my orders here, but I kept the recording running because I wanted to see what would happen if I entered on the pullback, which is my other, setup that I really like to do. And the criteria for that is once it's pulled back, I enter in for the break of the high of a 1 minute candle. So at this point, it would have to be the break of this one, but that's not what happens. Let's see. And I, like I said, I didn't have any more settled cash to get back in. Otherwise, I would have. Okay, so now the entry would be for the high of this candle, which looks like it's about 306 or 7. Well, no, I'm sorry. Must be 304 or 5. So probably 305 would be my entry, I'm guessing. I'll have to look. Let me look at the chart really quick here. The top of this candle was 305, so 306 would be my entry. So I wouldn't be in quite yet. There. So that would be my entry. So I would be in likely at 307, maximum 308. Actually, no, I would have been filled because I have it set to buy the ask. So I probably would have been filled maybe at 305 up to 307. It just delayed. But it's kind of bouncing down. So somewhere between 305 and 307, I would have been filled for sure. So now I'm in this trade, and my stop loss would be right here. This is hypothetical. I wasn't in the trade, but I kept it recording to see what would happen because this is a really common entry for me. That I definitely would have taken if I had settled funds. So I was just using this line to mark out my entry, my hypothetical entry. Like, okay, where would I have been in? 306, and then I would have sold half probably at that 310, knowing me. I'm trying to get in the habit of waiting for at least 5 cents before I sell half. But look here, it's already up to 320, 323. So this ended up being a much better entry than my first entry. So, yeah, then it goes all the way up to 342. I probably would have just been sitting on it at this point, whatever I had. Now this indicates a lot of selling pressure, that topping tail, that huge topping tail. So that's a sign that this thing's going to reverse. So if you're reading price action when you're in the trade, whether you react to that or not, that's up to you. As far as like getting out of the trade, you really don't know what's going to happen next. It's just increases the likelihood of it reversing when you see a huge topping tail like that. As some people will call that a reverse hammer. Yeah, my Webull was acting weird on this computer because look at how the price is going up here. It's at 330 and it's still over here at 329 on the 1 minute chart. Really strange. But it's funny because I have it open on my laptop, not the trade screen. I had the watch list open on my laptop, and it was doing a very different thing than the watch list was on this computer. So I don't know. I mean, I can't blame Webull for that since I have Webull on 2 different computers and they're behaving differently. But I just restarted this computer, so I don't know. Usually Webull runs better on this computer than I have it on my laptop that I'm watching the watch list on. So look what happens. So this opens basically where the previous candle closed. So my strategy here would be if it breaks the bottom of this candle, I have to get out. because now I'm already well in the green. I wouldn't wait for it to come back down to my entry. So I'd be out right there, probably around 325 for the remaining shares. So that'd be like a 19-cent move. Really, really good trade if I would have been able to take it. And of course, if I would have been able to trade it properly. And then let's see what happened after that. It came all the way back down to my entry, right? So, and this is something we see a lot, like these stocks run up really quickly in the beginning and then they come down and consolidate. I'm okay entering these as long as it's not like one giant green candle. That is a sign of a pump and dump, and you should run from those as quickly as possible. But when you see volume like that, look at that. It's 4:20 in the morning and we have 600, over 500,000 shares trading on this stock already. That's something serious. I don't even know if there's news. I don't care about it if there's news or not, because why are we interested in news? Is because we think it's going to be a catalyst that's going to bring volume in and move the price. Well, you've already got the volume and the price is moving. So there's no new news. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Probably just garbage news. But you don't need news when you have volume and the price moving the way it has. I love these setups when they're coming out of consolidation like that and they all of a sudden start to move. You just have to be careful and not get in on the, when it does it on one giant green candle. And obviously, in hindsight, the best entry was on the pullback. But I think my future strategy, because like I said, I'm going to divide the account up where I can take 2 trades per session, is I'm still going to take that trade that I originally took and ride it for what it's worth, because sometimes you don't get a pullback, and then sell it if it does pull back. Sell it just like I did in the video, and then my second entry would be for the break of the 1 minute candle and the pullback to ride the next move up, and then I'd be done. Just two trades, win or lose. So the only thing bad about this stock that I didn't like is the daily chart doesn't look good. So it doesn't pass the daily chart test. But I mean at the same time, like, look at how it was trading before with things aren't so black and white in trading all the time. The way that it was trading the past few days is like 500,000 shares, right? Basically. And yesterday 62 million shares traded, and then so all of a sudden volume is coming into this stock, so something is going on with it. So that's a good sign. It just unfortunately is below the 200 MA. So that's probably why this thing isn't really ripping up hard, is because you have people that are aware that it's trading with high volume right now that are bag holding, and they're trying to get out. So that's definitely a little added risk into trading a stock like this. But I just couldn't ignore that volume coming out of nowhere. That was huge. So it's still number one. NIO, which has been trading like crazy, has almost half the volume. So that should tell you something. I didn't even check the market cap. When the price moves like that, I don't even care, because the whole reason, the float size, the whole reason you care about the float is because it can create price movement, right? Well, this thing had plenty of price movement. It moved like 30 something cents on one candle. So anyway, that's my trade and some extra analysis for you guys. Hopefully you learned something from it. This thing's in consolidation right now. It's like a sideways move, so there's not really any really good entries at this point. So now it has to break, the high, and not that I'm taking any more trades anyway, but it'd have to break the high of one of these recent highs to show some real strength. All right, guys. Hope you guys are doing well and trade well this morning. Even though I only made 2 cents on that trade, I'm really happy with it because I traded my plan. Even if I would have lost a little bit, I would have been okay because I'm trading my plan and trading my strategy, and that's the key. All right, guys. See you later. I'll have money settled here. Just so you know, I'll have money settled here before the market opens, so I will be able to take more trades today.